Hello, one and all. Welcome to another episode of MMA Vision Analysis. This one, I'm here to talk about the middleweight champion of the UFC, Dricus, and his recent comments in regards to his opponent, the night of UFC 305, Israel Adesanya, the last style bender. But before I get started, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click that notification to get all it is that is new from this channel, your channel, the one and only MMA Vision Analysis. I would like to start off this video with giving the current middleweight champion the respect that he deserves. Dricus defeated Sean Strickland to obtain that middleweight title after Strickland defeated the guy that Dricus is getting ready to face the night of UFC 305, and that's Israel Adesanya. I would like to talk a little bit about Adesanya, the last style bender, a little bit in the beginning of this video. And I would like to say that watching a Israel Adesanya performance when Israel is in his mood is like watching a video game almost. It's like watching gameplay. Because the dude is just from a different planet. When Izzy is in his element, he's absolutely second to none. Striking specifically. I'm not talking about the wrestlers. I'm talking about strikers. When Izzy is in his zone, second to none. Last style bender. I mean, the guy literally makes his opponents freeze. And if you have any doubts about this, just go back and watch Israel Adesanya, Israel Adesanya, Robert Whittaker, 1 and 2, and so many other fights. The fight against Gastelum was also one of those fights that was clearly evident. The powerhouse that was clear display, the powerhouse that is Israel Adesanya, and that fight specifically, the one against Gastelum, the two fights against Whittaker, and obviously he's knocked out Alex Pereira. Like I said, the dude has the ability to make his opponents freeze. And obviously he has the technique, the speed, the agility, the movement to put guys away. Dricus, on the other hand, is a fighter that's very similar stylistically to Sean Strickland. I look at Strickland, Dricus to be very similar stylistically. Body-wise, they're also very similar in terms of body composition and so many other things. So I think stylistically, Dricus and Strickland are somewhat the same. Even the fight between the two is a very, very close fight. Actually, I think that really Dricus kind of took more punishment during the fight of the title fight between Strickland and Dricus. Dricus really ended up taking more punishment. I think it was evident on his face after the fight. But obviously, accumulation of punches landed and just the volume was on Dricus' side when he did face Strickland. Now, Dricus believes that if he was to touch Adesanya, he can put Adesanya away. Well, I think the truth could be said even for guys in lower weight classes. If somebody catches you cleanly, even a 125-pounder can put somebody in higher weight classes away if you catch him cleanly. But here's the thing with Adesanya. You would have to catch him cleanly. Now, when Izzy is not in his element fully, yes, guys do catch him, for one reason or another. Either, simply sometimes his opponents are, outclassing Adesanya in there in terms of striking. That's not out of the realm of possibility. It has happened. It happened against, against Guahovic. Guahovic just kind of took Izzy down and just kind of held him down for the majority of the fight. But when we're talking about Alex Pereira and Strickland, they simply walked Adesanya down striking wise, and he just seemed to be a bit like a half a step behind those guys in those fights. He did come back to, knock out Alex Pereira. I believe that's one of the most impressive knockouts of the year. I believe it was 2023. And obviously, he went on to be defeated by a guy named Sean Strickland, but that's very rare where you see Adesanya being outstruck. For whatever reason, I felt like Izzy was not in his element against Strickland. And I believe that the very next fight back, Adesanya shows his true colors. In terms of what kind of quality he's made out of in terms of being a striker. I still look at Israel Adesanya as the best striker on that roster, regardless of the name. I did not say wrestler, I said striker. In terms of fight IQ, striking, nobody is better than Israel Adesanya. Okay? So what I'm trying to say here is that if Izzy shows up, the Izzy that fought Robert Whittaker, then I can tell you that Dricus is in for a rough night. I can say that. And I kind of have a feeling that the performance against Dricus is going to be one of Israel's best performances as of late. I could be wrong, of course. With all respect to the current middleweight champion Dricus over here, I don't like to favor guys over the other, but I'm a fan of the sport. And at the end of the day, I like guys that give me entertainment. And Israel Adesanya is definitely one of those guys. Obviously, Strickland can always change our mind in terms of being top entertainer. But I just don't see him topping Israel Adesanya off, really, the night of UFC 305. As a matter of fact, I think the version of Adesanya that we're going to see during that fight is just pinnacle Israel Adesanya, because I kind of feel the tension. I feel the focus. Like, I can really almost... I don't want to say foreshadow what this fight's going to be like, but I expect Adesanya to be a half a step ahead of Dricus the entirety of the fight, the night of UFC 305. And yes, if Dricus catches Adesanya cleanly, then of course he can put Izzy away, but you would have to catch him cleanly. If Izzy shows up the Izzy that we know in terms of high-quality movement, then, like I said, Dricus is in for a very difficult night. Rough night, matter of fact. If you made it this far, I appreciate you for sticking around. Please let me know what you think in the comments and like, subscribe for more.